After hundreds of thousands of miles on connected fitness rowers like the Hydro and the Nordic Track RW900, I was really excited to get my hands on this, the Ergatta water rower. I've been using this for a while now and it's been both eyebrow raising and also eyebrow lowering. Let's get this reviewed. Now, before I get talking about the programming on this rower, which spoiler alert is superb, I want to show you around my home gym. This is a single British garage, and I stress British. As you can see from the outside, you would struggle to get a mid-sized car through the door. And within this tiny space, I want to have a cable machine here. I want to be able to do pull-ups. I want to be able to use a treadmill. I want to be able to lift weights and do squats and do bench presses. I want to be able to ride my bike. I want to be able to have my dumbbell rack, and of course, I want to be able to row. And I have never had anything in this gym that was so easy to put away when you finish using it. And in addition to that, one of my favourite things about this rower is how good it looks in a domestic setting. So most people don't have home gyms, and this will be living when it's not in use in part of their household. So this takes up about the same space as a person would. You can see it's a lot taller. It's 86 inches tall or 218 centimetres. And when it's not in use, which will be most of the time, if you're on this, say, half an hour a day for 7 days a week, there's 23 and a half hours when this rowing machine isn't doing anything. So being able to stand it up like this is just superb. And because it's made of wood, it's almost like a piece of furniture. It looks good in here, our family area. Because of its tiny footprint, it also fits really well in the corner here in my home office. It will even fit really well into a hallway. And even in a snug style lounge like this one, the fact that it is so easy to stand up and then bring down makes it really good in nearly every space. The setup process on the Ergatta is seamless, and it will take you through collecting things like your Apple Watch, which is a nice feature to have, your headphones, and also heart rate monitors such as Whoop. Then do a 1,000 meter row to calibrate, and you can recalibrate this row at any time. And that sets you off really to give you the perfect benchmark for these workouts here. Which programs will help improve your progress over time, and that's all off the back of your calibration, and you can recalibrate this anytime you want to. You've also got solo games for the introverts like me. There are lots of different choices here, and these revolve around getting your strokes to match something. So you'll be matching this wavelength format here, or like Beat Saber trying to hit the beat on this one, or like Meteor trying to get the rowing, the little dot there to hit that. I will come back and show you some of these in a moment. You've also got community games if you want to be more involved. Racing is one of my favourite games. Now with racing, you can either race other people or you can race previous versions of yourself. And I find that really useful because what that means is as you improve, you can go back and race previous you and you can see how far you're improving. If you want to have more instructed rowing, you've got this here, a really good selection of instructed rows, and the instructors here are good. They're not too in your face, which I really like. And you've also got an open row and just row features. You can set length, you can set intervals, you can free row as well. Within the free row, you've got all of kind of like the graphic-y classes, but you've also got these POV rides. So I really like these Scottish logs. It is so superb. And if you look at the scenery where they film these rows, it is just really excellent. In this one, I'm rowing to try and keep myself in, oh, I've gone out. To try and keep myself in the bottom there. And this is a hit workout, and this is the slow part if you think I'm going slow. And it's hard to talk, film on two different cameras, and then I've done better when I'm not even looking. And we've all been there, haven't we, where we're on like an agricultural rowing machine, like a Concept 2, it's like rowing a tractor, and you're generally facing a wall in a gym. And this is just so much better than that. This is keeping me engaged. Oh, now it's going to get harder. Now I need to keep it up here And if you're a proper rower, please excuse my stroke. So this is now the hard part. And I actually find this a little bit easier because it requires less finesse. Now try, oh. See, I'm filming a YouTube video here, so I just feel like I should get back to that. This is a scenic row in Loch Lomond, and if you haven't been to Loch Lomond, it is absolutely gorgeous. And I would say it's quite hard to make data, especially rowing, when there's only really the action of rowing, to make it sexy, and they've done a really good job with this. And there's even an AI coach as well to help you along the way to improve your form and your fitness and your endurance, etc. There are things about this rower though I'm not so sure about. The first is, as somebody who is really not a gamer, it does take a little while to get into the rhythm of some of the games. And what I felt was, a couple of times, especially at the start, I would much rather just be rowing than trying to get a ball into a hole. But I was really just frustrated. It's frustration on my part because I couldn't do it. Next is the foot straps. And it's easy to think that these are two straps, but they're not. They're one strap. It just goes down the back of the board. So what you can find occasionally is you get one foot in just how you'd like it, and then there's magically no room for your other foot. It's a small thing, and you'll only do it once more than likely, but I would just prefer if there were two straps instead of one. They're also quite close together. So this is like a boat would be really, and I think that's what they're trying to simulate here. So this is something to consider if you've got low mobility. You can get a rising kit. So although this is fairly low to the ground, it doesn't have to be, you can just get it all raised up. That solves that problem. But if you're here, this is fine. I imagine if I was quite famine resistant, this would be harder to be in this position. The other thing is, with your feet close together, I think it's maybe a man thing. You know, as an adult, if you get in the back of a car with two of your mates and you realise there's not quite as much room in the back as when they used to be children. It's just like that. You might need to adjust some things. And at this point, I want to say, if you're thinking about buying an Ergatta rowing machine, and it has been truly excellent, I will put a link in the description. That will take you to the best price on Ergatta's website, and that also helps support the channel as well, which is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. Now, there are lots of things on this rower that I really love. First of all is this rail. So I'm used to monorails on the RW900 and the Hydros, and also something like a Concept 2. This is dual rail, so this sliding action on here is better than any sliding action I've experienced on any rower. This is S tier. So where I would say something like the Hydro and the RW900 are very good, this is just sublime. It might be a little bit tricky for me to show you the seat and the angles within it, but ergonomically, this is the most comfortable rowing seat I've ever sat on. There's plenty of room there for your cheeks. I don't know what to say. And then this is here for your, is it your sacrum? Your tailbone. The handle is also excellent. As you can probably see there, it's not round, and it does kind of chamfer at the back here, so it's slightly thicker here than it is here. Hopefully you can see that. And what this means is it makes for a really lovely hand position when you're rowing. They're kind of close together as well, which I like. And I'm gonna say this is the best rowing handle that I've used on any rowing machine. It doesn't get slippery when you start to sweat either. And the belt drive is just really good. Now, one of the best things about this rower is how it sounds. So I'm just gonna put you there, which may make it too loud, but we'll see. But listen to this when I start rowing. So the sound, I'm probably very quiet now, but the sound of water when you're rowing, the way that it moves through the water, it's just almost hypnotic. It is my favourite thing to look at when I'm training. Now, this is a connected fitness rower, obviously, and the subscription on this is reasonable. It's not as expensive as, say, a Peloton subscription, for instance. We've talked about efficiency of stories, etc. And one of the other things I really like, and it might not be that obvious looking, is that I very much feel like I'm in this rower, rather than on this rower. I also love this tablet. It's very easy to use. Size isn't everything. So a lot of the stuff I use has a 24-inch tablet. That would look ridiculous on this machine. This is a 16-inch tablet and it suits the machine perfectly. I would not want anything bigger on this. And in a world of thumbnails, you know, like with your Netflix and with the YouTube and these 7 things I wish I'd known before buying this, we can't help ourselves. I love the simplicity of this setup. So this reminds me very much of a Polestar. If you've driven a Polestar, you will know that it's kind of got that lovely Nordic simplicity of it. The UI feels very grown up on here. It's not just in your face, and it just works. It works very well. So do I think you should buy the Ergatta rowing machine? Well, that's an interesting question. If you're short of time and space and want to get the most out of your workout and want to keep coming back to a machine, then absolutely. This is a top tier rowing machine with top tier software and top tier programming and more workouts on here than you could. If you did a workout a day, I think they would release more workouts by the time you exhausted the amount of workouts they've got. And I've just checked my script and there's a small caveat in that. And that small caveat is other connected fitness providers have opened their platforms up to things like Netflix and perhaps Spotify, so you can listen to your own music, etc. This is a closed system, so that is something to consider. It hasn't really been a thing for me. You can listen to your own music with this anyway through your phone because you can just turn the sound off on this. So that's something that I wouldn't mind seeing, but I also think it might take away from what makes this rowing machine so special. And of course, this is the best looking and sounding piece of connected fitness equipment I have ever had in my gym. YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this video. I'm going to enjoy this. Until next time, see you soon.